Hello, Pyramid Energy. I hope you're well. And I hope that these first couple of days into 2025 have you feeling empowered. I want to share a funny story with you. This started about 2 weeks ago, and I've been speaking to my sisters and my mother about it just because it's not something I thought I'd bring to the channel, but here I am, because this morning I sat down for a reading and this story just kept coming in, and obviously because I woke up to something that prompted the topic. And when I asked Spirit, like, please can we clear this out so I can do a reading? I heard, why? I said, well, because I'd like to do a reading. And they said, we want you to share that story. So I'm not going to mention any names here. I'm just going to tell the story, okay? And last week, I was scrolling on YouTube and I came across my words. I came across my words, not on my channel. I saw the title. It was like rejigged somewhat. And I saw the description and I was like, that's my video. Well, not my video, those are my words, that's my reading. And it was basically, there's this host of like AI channels. No doubt there are people behind them. This particular channel doesn't duplicate all of my content. I don't know how they choose, maybe based on like its performance or something, I don't know. And I found a second one this morning, that's why I'm just mentioning that. But I looked, it was The Secret Is Out, love reading, which still I think stands as one of my favorite readings of my own, just because of the thunder, the mood, the energy. So I was like, gotta watch this, what's going on? Oh, can't believe it, they stole my content. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna sing. Because I actually sing in that one, but anyway. So I start watching, I listen, and these AI channels, what they do, and I'm picturing it because I've worked a little bit with AI, and also because, I had a dream about this like earlier last year. It was a very weird vision, but I saw like a group of people, like technical people working with a whole lot of like computers set up in one room, maybe 4 or 5 people. There's like one person telling them all what to do. And these people are like programming and they're like working on their computers, producing something. But it was on the back of art. Okay, so it was a weird dream. But I figure how they make these videos is that it's very easy to download a YouTube video onto your hard drive, and then to transcribe the words, and then to feed them back into, let's say, ChatGPT, put them in different words, and then feed those words into, I suppose, something that dictates or reads or whatever. And then you choose kind of the mood, personality of the voice, and how you'd like the message delivered. And then, boom, you've got a video. And, this has happened to me as part of the audience of a different channel, and I got so upset. There's a channel that I've been watching for a number of years, and this woman puts a lot of work into her content, a lot of time, a lot of dedication. And given where I was in my journey, I was very triggered because I was in the process. I was early days Pyramid Energy, and I was just triggered because I'm like, this spiritual journey, of becoming a spiritual content creator. I don't know about other content creators. I suppose it's just standard for content creators. But it's a huge sacrifice. It's a huge sacrifice of time, of money, of, all of these things. And I just felt like I was triggered. And so I found this content, took down the name, and then I went to this woman's channel and I was like, you won't believe what I found. Someone copied your content. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this is larceny. And, after about a week, she addressed a few people who had found this content, and she said she's working on it with YouTube. But here's the thing, and I've looked at copyright rules and stuff. You will never track these people down. YouTube is too large, and even when it comes to music, if someone duplicates your music, changes like I suppose not the tempo but the speed of the music, lifts it by a level, what do you call this in music? I don't know, not an octave, but like let's call it a note or whatever, and you change like one word, whatever, you actually, it's no longer considered duplicate. It is just not the original anymore. And so there you can consider it as inspiration. It's gone. Your stuff is gone. It's flying away. So when I came across this, initially I was like, I won't lie, I was flattered. I was like, is my content this good? Someone's copying it and duplicating on my channel, on their channel. And then I looked, I was like 14,000 followers or subscribers. I was like, And I looked at the number of views. I was like, 12,000 views. Because this is all more than mine. And so what do? I sit and I wonder, this is what I would call something that can be considered low vibrational, like reactions. Let me just call it that. But I believe there's value in this. I believe there's value in low vibrational experiences and low vibrational behavior. I don't just believe this, I know it, because a lot of what I have learned has been through following my heart. And the heart does not always lead you to, through the quicker road of high vibes and clarity. Sometimes it takes you through a very nuanced road of going into, your feelings of jealousy, of irritation, of whatever it is, being triggered. Or, even if it comes to relationships, sometimes you're led down a more lusty like route. How do you learn about yourself if you constantly bypass the route that the heart leads you on, okay? And I'm not justifying any of this. I'm just telling you how I've experienced things, and you'll maybe understand by the time I get to the end of the story. So I sit and I think about how I'm going to tackle this. This is after telling my family about this, and my sister's response is like, Mama, I made it. I laughed at that because, there are moments I've been through where perhaps maybe these are projections, but perhaps I'm again triggered by certain people's reactions to the work I do, especially given its contrast compared to the paths I was led down. And so the fact that I really enjoy myself here on the channel, I get to, when other people are switching off from their 9-to-5 jobs, that's when I come alive, because now my 9-to-5 no longer needs me, and I find myself right here in my art room doing what I love. There's a lot of reconciling to be done. I think also through this divine masculine integration, there's a lot of reconciling to be done in terms of accepting that you are allowed to love your work. That's just my personal experience. So I sit and I think about, how am I going to tackle this? So now I know how YouTube works, to a level because of my experience here. So what do? I can't comment using my, because I'm going to comment, right? I can't comment using my normal profile that I move around on the streets of YouTube with. So I go to my other channel where I use this channel just for content inspiration, for the more visual side of the channel and like changes I want to make in time. So I go there, I change the name so it doesn't like look like me or anything. And I go into the comment section of the video, and instead of commenting directly, I look for the comments that where the content really resonated. And I go comment there, because what happens is that those comments underneath comments are not flagged the same way to the content creator. So I'm being very sneaky, very sneaky. So I go in and I comment, if you really like this content, you should know that this video actually is an almost exact duplicate of content on it by a channel called Pyramid Energy. I do this whole thing. And like literally this is very low vibes. I'm not going to even front about that. So I leave about 5 comments on separate comments and I wait about an hour. I could really spend my time better, but I had to do this. For some reason, I had to do this. I get a comment back, a reply. She says, I went to go check out this Pyramid Energy channel. You're right. It's an exact duplicate, but I don't like her voice at all. I was like, whew. There was quick processing for me at that point, very quick processing. And I realized something quite amazing. I realized that, okay, one, I had to do this. I had to follow this little process of mine. I had to find out why people watch content like this. How come my original content hasn't found them, all that. And I realized that I actually appreciate this content, this type of content, this AI generated, whatever we want to call it. Because in a case where I cannot reach everyone, and reaching everyone is not just about the places my channel will not travel to. This is that if somebody is at a point in their lives where they need this information, but they cannot listen to my voice. My voice carries more than just words. It carries more than just words. And they cannot face my content directly. They're still moved by my content. And so what that means is that the work I'm doing is traveling way further than my eyes can see. Way further. And perhaps in some cases it travels in a form that I won't even recognize. And I realized that, I might sit and judge one content creator for duplicating and reprocessing and repurposing someone's content. But they are doing healing work in their own way. This time, this morning, I came across a different video. This is from the one I posted last week about how your manifestation is going to scare you, divine masculine integration. And so instead of listening to the whole reading, I just went to the comments because I just wanted to hear the feedback, And the feedback was positive. And one person actually responded, "This message arrives in divine time." And that means something, because whether the person who's commenting saw my video or not, they still got this message. And so they are moved. And they will go out there somehow and move something else and move someone else. Another thing is that these comments show synchronicities. I mean, someone will say 11:11, and people pick up on the numbers. They open this video at a time that is synchronistic with something they've been experiencing, and they'll put whether it's 3434, whatever it is. And so this means that, this message was meant to reach them, irrespective of how it did so. Someone else commented, "I heard the same exact thing in another reading on another channel." And then the content creator AI puts a heart on it. And then someone else says, "This entire reading was stolen from the channel Pyramid Energy." And that's what reminded me how I felt when I saw my favorite content creator at the time, when I saw her stuff duplicated. And I thought I'd just leave that message here and say that's now how I feel about at least my own content being stolen. And this won't deter me from listening to any AI-generated content. If it resonates, it resonates. If the words mean something to me, they mean something to me. And that's why I'm grateful for following this sort of semi-dark road, going into the alley and behaving this way, because this wouldn't have come to light. And it does remind me of a lot of my experiences I've been through personally that have shaped me into the healer that I am now. Certain experiences that help me understand parts of myself way better than I understood them when I lived a more innocent type of life, I suppose I'd put it that way. The dark side is valid. The dark side is valid. And I have a feeling that perhaps I'm processing this as I prepare for the road ahead. Because, you know, when we are asked to approach our work with a beginner's mind, you know, that is a fresh mind. That is a mind that is not tainted by past experience and past learnings, and a mind that is open to what spirit has to offer. This is a scary place because whatever comes up, you know, if I open a spread, I'm dedicated to sharing the message of that spread. I can, but I'm just going to say it. I cannot decide, I don't like this message. I'm not going to deliver it. I'm going to wait for a different reading. Because what happens is like exactly what happened to me this morning when I wanted to do a reading. This story kept playing over and over in my head, and like my comments in my head kept going. And I was like, okay, well, I better talk about this. Because I'm not going to be released to the next thing if I don't. And we don't know Spirit's reasons for delivering certain energy and certain messages in the order that they do. And there's also something to be said about if a reading is bringing light to a dark energy. These dark energies exist. These dark energies exist. They cannot be avoided. They are frequently avoided. This tells me that they are frequently avoided because, you know, a lot of the content I listen to doesn't really go into this stuff. So I don't know why I'm thinking about this, you know, because I don't know what the future holds. But this is stuff I am processing as I move forward to clear the path, to be able to allow for whatever messages come through me to come through. Anyway, that's it about that story. I thought it has been a validating experience, not just what I learned from looking at it, but just to know that, you know, my content is worth duplicating, if you know what I mean. Sending you all lots of love.